Hello, welcome to today's video announcing a new series of videos that is actually named after one of my favorite books I've got in my library, The Anatomy of Error. Now this book was, I think is a really good source to understand, what went wrong. Why did some of the greats actually fail in some of their battles and some of their campaigns, what have you. So I got this idea last year when I was editing Saber Epic number 2. See, I noticed as I was, editing the clips, I watched myself as I made some key mistakes. Basically, key mistakes that ensured I would lose the game. Now, immediately that reminded me of this book, and so I thought, you know what, it'd be kind of a neat series if I could kind of showcase some of that stuff. But I never got around to it because I couldn't find a whole lot of material. I liked it because what I could do is take what was actually happening on the tabletop, as you watched a video, and actually walk through some of the concepts that I have in my Academy videos and to illustrate how, by not applying them, certain things went bad. The problem is, again, like I said, didn't have a lot of material. I realized after editing a recent battle report from my narrative campaign, it's going to have to be a very sporadic type of a series because it's all about when an opponent, or when one of the gamers, the players, make some serious mistakes that cause them to lose the game. That doesn't always happen, so it makes sense that it's not going to be a consistent thing, but it is a new video series that I will start. So this series is going to be comprised of videos where I'm going to take a look at certain battles that you may have seen in one of my one of my videos. And the key is this: within that battle, one of the players has to make some key mistakes that actually result in him losing. Now, I'm not saying that he would have won had he not made those mistakes, but he wouldn't have lost nearly as bad had he not made these mistakes. And that's really the core of this particular video series. Now factors such as bad dice rolls or real lucky shots, even things like serious mismatches in the two different armies that are fighting. None of that's going to be part of this. Instead I'm going to focus on the tactical decisions each of the two players is making. And, really it's not, these decisions aren't made in a vacuum. What may be a good decision in one game will be a bad decision in another. And so that's what I really want to kind of highlight. What is it about how this player made these decisions, and why did they contribute to the disaster, the loss, so heavily? What could he have done differently? Again, he may not have won, but he may not have lost as terribly either. If you think about it, if you look at some of what Sun Tzu wrote, he wrote that a general can never guarantee himself a victory. He can only guarantee that he will not lose. In order for you to win, your opponent has to make significant mistakes that allow you to capitalize on those and defeat him. So that's why this video series, I think, will be important. Now, though this is much like Monday Day Quarterbacking, I think it's really valuable because the fact is we need to review what we're doing to see if we could have done something differently. And what's really important is being able to develop the skill to identify these type of mistakes, whether it's your own play or some other players that you're watching. Being able to see where the decisions maybe weren't quite what they should have been, and how they cascaded into a set of bad decisions that caused the ultimate failure in that game. By doing this, we can help ourselves improve, and by that point, just have more fun. Because the more, obviously, the more we win, the more we enjoy it. But also, the less opportunities for us to completely catastrophically lose, the more fun even the losses will be. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the videos as they start coming out. Again, the first one will be showcasing my errors from that Saber Epic 2 battle report. And I hope you get something out of them. Now I'm going to show the utmost respect for any of the other players that I will select to actually be the subject of the Anatomy of Error. Because, it is something, not everybody's really going to want to be critiqued sometimes, but oftentimes they are. Matter of fact, my second video will be a different player who had made some key mistakes, and it handed the opponent a victory. It was an uphill battle anyway, but it didn't have to be as devastating a defeat as it could have been. I reached out to him. He kindly agreed to, yeah, go ahead, you can use it. So that's kind of the nature of these. They'll be sporadic because it depends upon me identifying, battles where we actually had such a catastrophic loss. And then if it isn't me making the mistakes, which, as you may have seen, I do quite often, the opponent or the player has to actually give me the permission to do that kind of critique because I don't want to embarrass anybody. Okay, I just want to help us all learn, right? So I hope you'll find those interesting and you'll like them. But stay tuned. The first one should be coming out during the month of April, and we'll just kind of take it from there. All right, see you in the next video. Bye bye.